Good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Mayra Alejandra, and today I will be discussing some products that I ordered from Make Beauty, and I've been trying to get my head around the products. It seems that they're pretty decent, but I do have more detailed feelings about each of these. So if you want to hang out with me for a little bit and check out some of the stuff that I got from Make Beauty, then I hope that you will keep on watching. Y'all, I have a really sore throat right now, like the left side, and it hurts. It's like that itchy kind of pain, just but anyways, I'm going to apply some skincare first. I really haven't been keeping up with my skincare, which probably isn't the greatest considering the change of season and how dry my skin tends to get during the winter. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit of my Phytosurgeon's Verdant Force Field. This stuff is great. It really has been making up for the lack of skincare on my face. It just makes everything kind of sit a little bit smoother, and it's pretty hydrating as well. I typically have pretty oily skin. I have a combination, but it tends to lean on the oily side. But in the winter, because where I live, my skin tends to dry out, especially because the heater is like always turning on. My poor skin definitely pays the price, but what are you gonna do, you know? So I was introduced to Make Beauty recently. Made me curious. I wanted to try out the formulation. It seemed as though many of these products are really pretty in pigmentation, but they also carry some skincare benefits to them. So that is what really attracted me to the products, to the line itself. A little bit about Make. We create modern personal care enhancements, utilitarian multifunctional skincare and cosmetic essentials designed to work seamlessly in daily rituals of beauty. Harnessing the advancements of biotechnology, we formulate with sustainable botanical materials, lab-engineered natural ingredients, and skin-compatible synthetics that go beyond the concept of clean. So it seems that Make was founded in 2013, so it's been around for a little bit. All Make products are dermatologist tested, cruelty-free, formulated without parabens, phthalates, petrolatum, PEGs. It's vegan and gluten-free. So the brand rebranded from its first iteration. It seems that many of the products were primarily skincare. Okie dokie. So Make does have their own skin tint. I already have so many. Ever since starting my YouTube channel, I have acquired more makeup. I have plenty of skin tints for the time being, and I haven't finished any of them. I do have their Skin Mimetic Concealer. So mimetic basically means that it mimics. So for instance, the Skin Mimetic Concealer mimics the texture of skin, or has a very natural finish. That is my interpretation. This concealer provides buildable medium coverage with a radiant finish, formulated with skin mimicking pigments, red algae, and adenosine. It blends seamlessly into the skin to conceal and correct while hydrating. Ideal for spot coverage or layering over foundation. Can also be used as highlighter or contour. So their range is pretty decent, I'd say. There are 20 shades to choose from. Considering how lightweight it is, I think there should be something for everyone. One of the things that I have noticed while playing around with this is that this does tend to get a little bit deeper as it sets. So just keeping that in mind, because when I opened my concealer, I thought the shade is too light, and come to find out that it's actually totally fine. I have the shade 06 Medium O, and it is for medium tan complexions with olive undertones. So the shade descriptions are definitely really helpful. If you are already familiar with your undertones, then going by the description will help you pick the right shade. As you can see, I don't know how well you can see, I've been playing around with my lighting a little bit. So if you can see, this is a swatch, or this is the little bit that I put on the side of my nose. It is fresher, if you will, than this over here, for instance. And this does seem to be getting just a little bit deeper in comparison. So there's that. Now, in terms of the feeling of the actual formula, as I mentioned, this is super, super lightweight. As the description says, while it is lightweight, it is slightly buildable. Kind of have a difficult time calling it medium coverage. I want to say it's light coverage that can be built to like a light medium. Does that make sense? Because here, for instance, you see that blemish that I have? That has not really been covered. And I did wait a little while for the concealer to set a little bit, just so that it could have a little more coverage, but even then, it didn't really cover too much of that redness. So I do have to go back into certain spots to spot conceal. And especially under my eyes, because I tend to have really dark circles. So I do really like the wand itself. The applicator is really interesting. It's kind of angled, and it is a tapered, maybe I'll show it right here on my hair. It's tapered and it's angled. And there is a little hole, which you can probably see there, which I think the whole purpose of that is so that it holds a little bit more product within the applicator. So I basically use this as a foundation, because I feel like it shouldn't be that much different from their skin tint. And I mean, it's been my experience that many times concealers are formulated so similarly to a foundation or skin tint type product. So, you know, it's fine. And there is plenty in here. There's 0.26 ounces in here. Another thing that I really, really appreciate about honestly all of the products is the packaging. The packaging is super nice and heavy. If I'm not mistaken, let me see, let me make sure. Yeah, this retails for $28. I did get this as the bundle. I think it's called the Bright Eyes bundle. So it is the Bright Eyes Skin Mimetic Concealer and Diffusion set. So this does come with the translucent pressed powder, and it only gives you an option to pick the concealer shade, and then it'll automatically give you the corresponding pressed powder. I was paired with the translucent light medium shade, and there is 0.26 ounces here. And it comes in this really cool packaging too. It's like the mixed metals. I'm a huge fan of this packaging. They just feel really high quality. There's something about the weight and gratifying almost to interact with. Another cool thing is that these things are refillable. Let me not dig my fingernail in there, but they are refillable, which is so dope. Because it comes in a bundle, it's a little bit more affordable. These products are a little bit, I wouldn't say they're super pricey, but if you were to pick up the powder and the concealer separately, they would end up costing about $60, whereas with the set, you end up paying $54, so you save a little bit. They do have discount codes available. There's save 15% on 3 items, use code GIFT15, and then save 20% on 4 or more items using GIFT20. I did get this around the Black Friday sales, so I did get this with a discount, so keep that in mind, because as I said, they're not super duper expensive, but they're up there. I really like the pressed powder. Oh, there is a little bit of kickback. There isn't that much, even if you see it, you know, up close, there isn't that much. I can't get enough of this powder. It's really blurring and it doesn't grab onto any texture. I have yet to experience any creasing. It sets beautifully, man. It looks so nice. Check it out. Now, I don't mind there being a little of my skin peeking through. It's not a big deal to me. Although I did go over some of these areas already twice. You can still see, like my skin coming through. So as far as the pressed powder, they say it's an ultra soft refillable translucent setting powder formulated with skincare infused microsphere powders that set makeup without ever feeling dry or cakey. Especially great for those who have drier skin or texture, and it is available in 5 translucent shades. Again, I wasn't able to pick my powder shade within that set, but I would say that they sent me the right shade. It doesn't look powdery, it doesn't look dry, it doesn't look like it's acting funny, it just looks blurring. It's really nice. I really appreciate the way that everything is kind of working together. For the sculpting brow tint, I was actually sent this by mistake. I did not order this. I placed my order, and I'm assuming because of the amount of orders that they were getting around that time, everything seemed to be a little chaotic. I got a confirmation email, you know, every product looked right, everything, all the shades, it was all great. But then when I received an email letting me know that my items had shipped, my Bright Eyes bundle had not been included in my order, and instead they sent me the brow tint. I let them know, and a few days later, you know, I had the rest of the products that I needed. I was ready to send this back if they told me, you know, if you have not opened it, which I had not, I would have, but they didn't. So another product that I can try out for you. It has this kind of like mascara wand. So it is bigger than what I'm used to seeing on brow tints, but I don't know, man, like it seems like I still have yet to get the hang of this. The shade is called Cool Brown. It does set, and it does set a little hard. Not completely like Crunchville, you know what I'm saying? Whenever I touch my eyebrows after I've allowed this to set, it does feel a little bit like my hairs feel a little stiff. Okay, so the product description for the brow gel states, this perfectly tinted brow gel gives sculpted high definition in one swipe. This unique formula effortlessly defines and fills in the look of brows while controlling and shaping them without flaking or fading. Formulated with advanced polymers, giving the appearance of fuller, thicker brows, and has a precision bristle brush, adding texture, feather, and fullness to your brows. So this does retail for $23. As I said, I still feel like I have to get the hang of it because it's not as easy as just one swipe and you're good. I mean, at least not for somebody who has such little brow hairs, you know, because I do have to kind of tinker with this a little bit more, considering that, again, you know, I have to swipe on some brow hairs. But yeah, if you can see, it's a little messy for sparse brow haired ladies like myself. But yeah, you see, it's like not ideal. And once you allow this to set and you try to give it another go, it ends up picking up on itself. And you can't really blend it out either with a spoolie because you end up just like flicking off the product. So see what I mean? Look at that. I don't know, maybe it's just user error, but I just don't love it. I don't love it. And I end up doing this all the freaking time. I apply it once and then I flick it the heck off, and then I'll apply it again and it looks okay, but it's just kind of a hassle, you know? See, and because of this wand, I always end up doing this too. That big old blob of product. I just don't know, dude. I don't know. Packaging is great. I love that there's so much product, especially in comparison to the Boy Brow, right, from Glossier. Man, this thing is like a ton of product. It's 0.22 ounces. I'm not gonna give up on it. I'm gonna keep trying to use it and see how I can make it work. So let me go back in and fill in those little gaps that I might have. So now the fun parts. Everything else is just... So another one of the products that I got is the Skin MIMETIC MICROSUEDE bronzer, and it is in the shade Aura. Just beautiful. I do have another powder bronzer, which is my Fenty Sunstalker. As you can see, this is a little bit more yellow leaning, and this I feel leans a little bit less yellow while still being warm. I feel like it's a lot more ideal for me and my skin tone and my undertone rather. I do like to apply it with a big brush. This is also refillable, which is great. So as I said, I do like to use a big brush with this, and man, look, zero kick up. I really like this. So again, this is the Skin MIMETIC MICROSUEDE bronzer, and it says this refillable microsuede matte bronzer adds buildable warmth and definition for a naturally sun-kissed tan effect. Formulated with active multifunctional sensory powders infused with hydrating hyaluronic acid and replenishing ceramides, this bronzer feels lightweight and silky smooth. Totally agree. It does make my skin look rather smooth. So the shade Aura is the second shade within the range, and they describe it as a light medium golden brown soft matte for light medium to medium skin tones. I did see that they have a shade called Dune, which is the third shade, and it is medium neutral with a balance of warm and cool tones, soft matte finish for medium to medium dark. I would have gotten that one, but I just felt like it was a little too deep for my complexion. And also, even though it says it's like neutral, I felt like it looked a little red. Like there were some red undertones in there. Look at this, look at my skin. Look at it, look at it. Finish on the skin is a matte finish, and I'm glad that it is a matte finish because I tend to feel really weird with those shimmery kind of bronzers, considering my big cheeks, you know? I feel like it would just kind of take over my face. When a bronzer is matte, I feel like it really helps not just warm up my skin, but it also helps contour a little bit. So there we go. That is the bronzer. That's the bronzer. So I did get two blushes, and I'm so excited to show you these. The Skin MIMETIC MICROSUEDE blush I got in the shade Celestial Mauve? No, Celestial Rose. Again, it's a refillable guy. Love to see that. Y'all, the shade. I really, when I opened the package and I saw the shade, I thought to myself, oh, this might be too ashy for me. When I tell you that this is the most beautiful, pinky, kind of like rosy, just so lovely. Lovely shade for a blush, man. So pretty. And because, again, because it is matte, I feel like it really helps with the blurring effect. There is kind of like a, I don't know, I guess you could say like a threshold, where there's like a point in which my skin will start to look a little dry, or not dry, but just like really matte. And I have had to spray just a little bit of like setting mist to avoid my skin looking too flat. The Skin MIMETIC MICROSUEDE blush. It is a matte powder blush. This refillable ultra smooth microsuede blush adds the perfect flush of color to the complexion. Formulated with multifunctional sensory powders infused with hydrating hyaluronic acid and replenishing ceramides, this blush feels lightweight and silky smooth. It definitely feels silky smooth. There's 10 shades available. Celestial Rose is described as a desert rosy nude. Cannot say enough great things about it, especially combined with my bronzer. It's a dream team. For the blush, it says benefits are ultra smooth microsuede texture, skincare infused powders for a hydrating matte finish, effortlessly blendable. Totally. So pretty. I feel really pretty. That's one of the awesome things about it. With everything, with the exception of the eyebrow tint, everything else makes me feel so pretty, man. I do have the Heat Stroke Dewy Gel Tint. This is that mixed metals packaging. I got the deepest shade of brown. It is in the shade Baked. What they say about the formula is this innovative gel tint is formulated with skin enhancing pigments to create a dewy watercolor blush effect. Skin plumping brown algae enhances for volume and radiance. Available in 8 shades. These are also really beautiful. Also incredibly pigmented. It is dewy, so it does kind of help bring a little bit of that juiciness that I need. I like to apply it with a brush instead of just like going in. This one also serves as cream bronzer. If you can see, it definitely deepens that powder bronzer just a bit, but it also gives a healthier appearance to the skin. There are 0.17 ounces. I'm very happy with the shade selection and with the formulation. It's not too dewy where it's gonna feel like your hair sticks. And finally, the Serum Balm Intense in the shade Magnetic Mauve, 0.14 ounces. So there is a hydrating lip treatment. It's labeled as Serum Balm, and I'm assuming just from the looks of it, the regular Serum Balm is just that. It's very much just like a lip treatment, hydrates your lips, and not much pigment, it seems, from what I can tell. The Serum Balm Intense is a lot more pigmented. Our iconic best-selling Serum Balm, now with amplified pigment. This serum lip product provides instant hydration while softening, smoothing, and plumping. Formulated with a natural lip volumizing ingredient derived from biomolecules extracted from pomegranate flowers along with liquefied jojoba wax, this lip conditioning treatment adds luxurious, long-lasting shine and cushion. Available in 11 shades. These shades are freaking beautiful. One of the shades that I was super close to getting instead of Magnetic Mauve was Anti-Gravity. Now, Anti-Gravity is described as a peachy pink nude, but from the photos, it just looked like it was gonna be a little too peachy. So I ended up going with something a little bit different from what I have in my collection, which is a mauve type of color. Doe foot applicator is freaking delicious. I'm gonna use my finger to apply this because I don't want to keep like putting my mouth when I have a sore throat. Check it out. I'm gonna use a different finger. Apply a second layer. And again, in terms of the formulation, could I compare it to a lip oil? Could I compare it to just like a really thick lip gloss? I couldn't compare it to neither because, for one, lip oils feel just a little bit thinner than this. Well, and then also it's a lot more pigmented than a lip oil. And would it be a thicker lip gloss? Well, no. Thick lip glosses, I feel like they're a little bit harder to spread, but with this, it's like super easy to glide onto the lips. It does make my lips look smoother. I'm not sure about it making my lips look more plump. Once it kind of rubs off, I do feel like my lips are a lot more hydrated than what I started out with. So that is a big plus. This retails for $26. I feel like it's worth it. You know, the packaging, beautiful, weighty, high quality formulation, just a pleasure to interact with. Sorry, I keep looking off to the side just to make sure that I'm in frame, but I'll try not to do that. Let me do something to my eyes and then I'll be back with my final thoughts. Alrighty, final thoughts in terms of the Bright Eyes bundle. I always try to picture myself in the future and whether or not I would choose to purchase these again. To be completely honest, I kind of feel like I was more impressed by the pressed powder than I was by the concealer. While this is lightweight and it doesn't crease, I feel as though I would want just a little bit more coverage. This is great. It's a really beautiful alternative for those of you who really want to stick with just a light layer of makeup. This, however, I feel like was really, really impressive. I have heard others say that it's, you know, just as good as any other drugstore powder. I don't know. Granted, I haven't really dabbled in drugstore makeup recently. I just haven't had any good luck in the past, and I would rather spend a little more money on something that could give me better quality in terms of formulation, and this definitely gives it to me. The brow tint, I'm not sure. I don't want to give like a definite answer, but the way that I'm feeling right now, I really wouldn't purchase this myself. You know, again, this was sent to me by accident. Had I not been sent this, I don't think I would have been that inclined to even try it. I am going to try to make the best out of this product. I just haven't had good luck with it. You wouldn't think that there'd be a learning curve to a brow gel, but I feel like there is with this one. Granted, my eyebrows are pretty sparse. Maybe that's why I'm having such difficult time. Maybe if you have fuller brows, this might be the product for you. It does last. I do give it that. Once it's on and it's on for the rest of the day. The bronzer, I would have to say that the powder formulations are just really, really high quality. I love when a powder makes my skin look blurry. I love it when it's easy to blend. I love that it doesn't have any shimmers within the formula. Same thing with the blush. This also doesn't have any shimmers whatsoever. The pressed powder either. Even though it doesn't have those reflective qualities, they still perform really beautifully. They still make my skin look really nice and soft. Makes my skin look healthy. The blush, the powder blush, again, one of my favorite shades within my collection now. It's just such flattering color on me, I think. I love it. Would I repurchase this? I would definitely want to repurchase it, if not purchase another shade in this. Maybe one of the more pinky shades, like more pigmented purpley pink shades. And because they're so pigmented, I would go as far as to say that they would look incredible on somebody with a deeper skin tone. The heat stroke in Baked. This is such a lovely product too. I love the way that it applies. It doesn't feel heavy. Like my skin right now feels so light. Like I almost don't have any products on my face. Honestly, the only thing that I feel right now is the lip serum. Luckily for me, it can also serve as a cream bronzer. So would I repurchase this? I would want to try a different shade. So yeah, I guess in a sense I would repurchase it. It doesn't feel sticky, it doesn't feel heavy, it's pigmented enough. The Magnetic Mauve lip serum Intense, Serum Balm Intense, sorry. I would say that the initial application kind of gave it away. I would absolutely repurchase this. Berry Moon. Berry Moon looks beautiful. It's like a wine-ish looking shade. So those are my thoughts on the products that I picked up from Make Beauty. If you have tried Make Beauty, let me know what you think about them and what your favorite product has been so far. If I were to pick a favorite, it'd be hard to choose between the blush, the powder blush, and the serum balm. I would say that they're neck and neck. Anyways, that is it from me. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope that you will want to hang out with me in the future. If so, please don't forget to subscribe. Like this video if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.